in your life like a team that wears black and white, who has a tight end in the end zone for a 2-point conversion, and he drops the ball while going away. I didn't have a good one lined up for this. This is the Educated Ignorance Podcast on the For Frequency Sake Podcast Network, presented by our good friends from Ryan Allison Tattoo, Durham Remodeling. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode, another Sunday, another week one. We are here. We are there. Some would say we're everywhere. We want to thank everybody hanging out with us. It is a solo adventure tonight. We will have Nick Brinks with us tomorrow night to recap the Bears season opener and to play Guess the Lines week number guess the lines for NFL Week 2. We will have that tomorrow night. So if you want to see me rage about the Bears or maybe sit here and be completely irrational if they win, make sure you join us tomorrow. Yeah, that was fun. We're going to talk a lot NFL. The theme of today's show is NFL Week 1 overreactions, and we are going to get to that. But yeah, just amazing stuff today. Want to thank everybody that's going to hang out with us here. Like the video whatever platform you're on. If you get the chance, make sure to go watch us or go to our YouTube page, For Frequency's Sake QC, or as well as go to our Substack, forfantasysake.substack.com. We are posting so much. I lied again. I am stupid. For frequencysake.substack.com. That is our Substack page. We post so much great content. We've got people doing gambling write-ups, weekend previews, best bets. We got stuff on NASCAR. We have so much stuff on there that we're letting rip. We did a bunch of fantasy football stuff. We got starts and sits. We have a billion things that we've got covered for you over there. So please go check us out. We would really appreciate it. Okay. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, For Frequency's Sake QC. I think I got most of, if not all of the bases covered. All right. Where do we start? That was pretty crazy, wasn't it? Leave a comment, by the way, in the comment section below, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're watching us on Twitter, or if you're watching us on Facebook. We really appreciate it. Be involved in the conversation. What was your NFL Week 1 overreaction? Give us your thoughts on any game that has happened from Thursday to now. We really appreciate it. All right, let's get after it. So the Bills and the Ravens had one of the dumbest, greatest, hilarious games in the history of the NFL. And I was going to come on here and be incredibly irrational about the Ravens. And then the Bills absolutely snatched victory from the jaws of defeat in a way that only can be seen when you are watching a Ravens game. Nobody blows leads like the Baltimore Ravens. That was something. And the Bills were spectacular down the stretch. They made every play on offense. They made just enough plays on defense. There's a couple decisions that the Ravens made that I will go over that bug me. Sip from the chalice of supremacy. I am very intrigued at certain things certain decisions that they made, certain ways that the Ravens handled themselves at the end of the game. But I want to start with this. Are these the two best teams in football? Possibly. Are they both flawed in certain aspects? Yes. Are those flaws only brought out against teams that are, when they play teams of like levels, right? So the Ravens, I don't think their defense is that bad. At least I don't think. They ended up getting hit. They played over almost 80 snaps tonight. The Ravens offense was a juggernaut. I don't know if the Ravens defense is that bad. They're thin, but I don't think they're that bad. They don't have a pass rush. Josh Allen had all day to throw, but I don't know if they're that bad. The Bills' defense, I think, is bad. Their secondary's not good. They're unathletic. Their front seven or their front four is solid though. Russo's okay. Bosa has a couple good plays in him a night. Ed Oliver has a couple good plays in him a night. He made a few today, as well as Bosa, as well as Russo. Their secondary is not good, and they're banged up. And they were banged up tonight, and they got lit up tonight. I think the Ravens' defense was so gassed because they had to play so many snaps. So the thing that I wonder going forward with these two teams is, are those flaws that are exposed, are those only brought up when they play teams like this, when the other team is just so damn good? And in this case, when the quarterback is so good, and I buried the lead. I mean, I've gone 7-8 minutes now without bringing them up. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are the two best football players alive. I'm stamping that. Whatever order you want to put them in right now, I don't care. They are those two, and the guy that plays for the Chiefs, not the one that's going to marry the pop star, the other one. They are very clear from the rest of the pack, and Joe Burrow is also really good, and he is probably also clear from the rest of the pack, but he didn't look great today. Their offense didn't look great today, but they at least got to win. More on them later. Here's the thing, man. 8 for Baltimore and 17 for Buffalo are two of the greatest players we've ever seen play the game of football. And right now, I don't know if there's any two players in the league playing as good as those two guys. Mahomes had a rough year last year, and it was a very weird year for Kansas City. It was like they were bad, but they also won 15 games, and they were inevitable. Friday night, they looked human. They sucked for most of the game. Then when they finally had a chance to come back, they couldn't make the winning plays, and they lost. And I don't know. It was weird. So I'm going to chalk it up to maybe it was an international game, or who knows, or did the Chargers actually do something? We'll talk about overreactions from them later. But right now, I don't think there are two better players on earth on a week-to-week basis than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. There's just not. Those two guys operate at a level that is uncanny. They operate at a clip that is just different compared to the rest of the league. And the thing right now for those two guys, they make every single play, and we see it on a week-to-week basis. And that's the thing between those two guys and Mahomes is I don't know why the Facebook comments don't show up on Restream. Restream sucks. Shout out to Danny Hancock, my guy from Gotham Gambling. He gave us a little hello, princess. Hi, Daniel. It's good to see you. Where's Brian Blair in the chat? I want to see Brian Blair getting his hot takes off about the Bills. But here's the thing. That's the thing, though, man. Like, am I counting the Chiefs out? Am I counting out Mahomes? No. But he didn't play tonight, and I haven't seen him look like he was levitating above the plane. I mean, okay, the Bills game in the AFC title game last year, he was pretty damn good. But outside of like that, like you see it every now and then, but I don't know, man. It's so weird because here's the thing. Last year, the game of football became so bad, not bad, but it became was toxic because every game, the Chiefs last year broke how we're supposed to think about football because they were not a good team, but they won 15 games and almost won, and then won the AFC because they made enough plays in certain games and they were brilliant in certain spots and incredibly efficient to like a degree. And in the regular season, they pulled out like half a dozen voodoo black magic wins. And they like broke the way we should legitimately talk about the sport of football. That's what the Chiefs did last year. So I'm still trying to get over that. But watching Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson play today, again, I'm not saying on an all-time level or whatever. So any Chiefs fan or anybody in general who listens to this, don't come at me. But I'm watching tonight, man. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen the Kansas City Chiefs play a game like that in How long? Now, some people would say, well, their defense wouldn't give up 40 points. Probably not. And if Mahomes had to go band for band with the other side, he probably could. But goddamn, bro, I watched those two dudes, Lamar and Josh, absolutely cook. And Josh, especially in the fourth quarter, bro. Like, have I had takes about the Bills? Yes. Do I like the Bills? Not exactly. They annoy me, but it's fine. I've come to accept it. They're really good. And the guy that throws the football and wears number 17 and is banging the chick that was getting her stuff ate out by Michael B. Jordan in the movie Sinners. That dude's awesome. So is Michael B. Jordan. But Josh Allen, that guy, good at football, okay? So yeah, when I watch those two freaks, and then Derrick Henry also, and Kyle Hamilton on the Ravens defense, even though their defense died in the fourth quarter. When I watch those two guys, 8 and 17, when they do the stuff that they do, man, I'm sorry, okay? Sue me. I don't care. I guess this is me overreacting, right? The Ravens offense, or the Bills offense, is an incredibly weird conundrum because they have like not enough good players, and then all of a sudden when they need it, they have every good player. And they have a bunch of receivers I don't like. And their offensive line, actually their offensive line's really good. Their running backs I don't really like. But all of a sudden, when you need it, Keon Coleman is making crazy plays. And Josh Palmer is toasting Jair Alexander, who's probably washed, by the way. Shout out to that guy. We've come so far to fall deeper, or to fall so much further. At the end of the day, man, that game was insane. Both of these teams rip. Both offenses are beast. The defenses, I have a lot of questions. Both defenses, I have a lot of questions. A lot of questions about. Hold on one second. Is the name of the thing? Okay. Both defenses, I have a lot of question about. That right now, Bills especially, and the Bills. What a game! I'm irrationally yelling at nobody. I have a black Hydro flask with a pink thing on it because I left my white one at my football coach's house. Shout out to Nick Welch. Good dude. Left my water bottle at your house, though, the other night. While we were watching film, hanging out with everybody. So, yeah, upset about that. Not really, because I'll go get it. But I got the little pink boot on it. I'm ahead of October supporting everyone wears pink in October. I have pink on my Hydro flask in September. All right. Looking long term ish. Here's the thing about the Ravens that I want to get to. The Ravens are this weird, like, duality of man type situation where they frustrate me to a bitter end because nobody knows how to blow leads in the NFL like the Baltimore Ravens, bro. Just nobody. How many times do we have to watch this stupid team just absolutely gack games in big moments where they have huge leads late in games and they just make every losing play? Does this mean John Harbaugh is a bad coach? I don't know. Does it mean they don't have winning DNA? I don't know. Everyone's going to go on First Take tomorrow and First Things First and the Herd, and I don't know what they're going to say. Are they going to say Lamar didn't make enough plays? He didn't make enough throws? Like, they ran 4 plays in the final, 9 minutes of the game. They ran 4 plays after the Derrick Henry touchdown run. They ran a handoff to Derrick Henry, and he got the balls ripped out. They ran a sweep to, they ran another run to Henry, got stuffed. A sweep to Zay Flowers, who is mind-boggling football player. That dude, Zay Flowers, like he does good things and then just like can't run north or south. And then they throw it to DeAndre Hopkins, who's 3 yards behind the first down marker. And then Harbaugh punts it. Like, why did Harbaugh punt? Why did Jair Alexander not let Keon Coleman score on the second catch? Because once he tackled him, the Bills were going to win no matter what, unless Prater missed the kick. If he would have let him score, the Ravens would have still had 2 timeouts and like 40-something seconds left. They would have been down 45-40 or 46-40 if they went for 2 and got it, or 44-40 if they went for 2 and missed it. Like, the Ravens missed the extra point, which is the only reason why it was 40-38 instead of 41-41 or 41-38. The Bills were also gifted 3 points at the end of the first half. I don't care what anybody says. Kincaid was not down out of bounds with time left on the clock. On the broadcast feed, he catches the ball. He catches the ball when it hits 1 second. You're telling me it takes less than 1 second for him to catch the ball, take 3 steps, and then be tackled out of bounds? I call bullshit on that. I don't think they got an insane gift there to be handed 3 points at the end of the first half. I say all that to say still, though, the Ravens continuously, every year it seems, lose a stupid game. It seems like all the games they lose end up being stupid because it's like, how? How do you, like last year, the Chiefs game, freaking, they're driving down the field at the end of the game. They're down 7. They're clearly going to go for 2 if they score. They score at the gun, but Isaiah Likely can't get 2 feet in bounds. They lost to the Raiders a couple years ago. They're like up 14 with 4 minutes left, and they lost. Like, this team is insane, bro. And I was sitting here thinking, watching that game, like, dog, I know that they're not going to play the Bills defense every week, but like their offense rips. Munkin's in his bag. They're making Zay Flowers look good out here, who I don't think's really that good. They got multiple tight ends. They're out here. DeAndre Hopkins is just making nasty one-handed grabs. Lamar's cooking. Derrick Henry is a freak. And then they just die. I don't know. Brain doesn't comprehend how the Baltimore Raven, they make no sense to me sometimes. And that's the problem with this team, is sometimes when it matters the most, they absolutely gag it, and they did tonight. I want to thank everybody hanging out with us. We want to tell you to leave a like on whatever platform you're watching on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitter. Hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds. We would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Share it. Give us your thoughts on tonight, on today, on this weekend. All right. Buffalo Bills will be the number 1 in the Elite 8 this week. Ravens might be 2. After all of that, the Ravens still might be 2. Let's talk about some other games, shall we? NFL overreactions. Game of the day today, somehow, some way, the best football game played today, other than the last one, other than the Sunday night game. The best game of the day was the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. Hot diggity. Aaron Rodgers, pretty good at football, don't you think? His lower body might not function that much, but good God, it was fun to watch him sling it. My overreaction for the Steelers is maybe they're actually like a legitimate AFC playoff team. Like, if the offense can operate at a high level and Rodgers is able to spin it, and he's not going to throw 4 touchdowns a game, but he's able to hit a bunch of different guys. They're able to get creative in how they're, they weren't able to run the ball really at all today. Only see one carry from Caleb Johnson. Not great, but Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell getting carries. Whatever. He was able to hit 3, 6, 7 different targets today. 6 of them for 15 yards or more. He had 4 touchdowns to 4 different players. Rodgers was in his bag, man. And I don't know what that says, in theory for the long term, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have not operated on offense like this in a long time. Now, for the Jets, on the other hand, I'm very happy for Justin Fields. I think if you're not happy for Justin Fields, even if you're a Bears fan, which is what I am, I think if you're not happy for Justin Fields, you're part of the problem. I think Fields had a great day. He was awesome. Probably one of the best performances he's ever had. The thing that worries me about the Jets long term is that as the more that teams are going to be able to get tape on them, maybe their offense won't be able to work as much. But Fields was like making some legit throws today, over the middle in the pocket, dicing some guys up. And obviously, he's always a threat to run the ball. They ran for 182 yards today. Breece Hall looked about as good as I've seen him look in a few years. Killer one to lose, though, for them. They battled their ass off. Boswell hits a 60-yarder with a minute and change to go. Crazy game. If I had a crazy overreaction for this, it would be that both of these teams look like playoff teams. Defenses, I don't know. But the offenses could be very fun. Because, like, if Rodgers is, like, legit, like, if he looks, he doesn't have to be MVP, but if he's, like, obviously, but if he's good, then the Steelers haven't had anything close to this at quarterback in a long time. And for the Jets, if the run game is good, which allows Fields to be in a heavy play action life, which he's good at, like, that's something, right? Like, that's just a tough ass cover. Because they're going to bring at you multiple running backs. I mean, I know Braylon Allen only had 6 carries for 9 yards today, but Breece Hall he had 19 for 107 yards. But I haven't seen him look that explosive at times in years. Holy shit, Breece Hall! Welcome back to the island of relevancy. And then Fields is always going to be a weapon to run the football. Like, Fields is going to have at least one game this year where he probably has 100 yards rushing. Like, that's just what it is. Do I trust him to be 16 to 22 every week for 200 yards? Probably not. However, they're going to be just going to be a tough team to play. That's where I'm at with the Jets. Raiders, Patriots. Gino. My guy. Oh, Gino. I love you. Do you know Geno Smith had 9 passes today that went for 20 yards or more? 9! Brother. Living in that world. Imagine. I never gave if I thought the Raiders were legitimately a playoff team. I thought the Raiders win total was criminally low. Be a part of the chat, man. If you're watching this and if you're not liking the video, if you're not watching the chat, you're fake. Get in the chat. Tell us your thoughts. Give us an overreaction from week 1. Be a part of the conversation. It's not that hard. Enjoy it. Be here and be present. Be in the moment. Everyone's saying Brock Bowers is fine. He didn't play. He only played 30 snaps today. He took a weird hit. He was kind of limping around. So if he's okay, that's good. He had 5 catches today, 103 yards. Gino, bro. Gino is dotting people up. He's throwing the ball downfield. Jacoby Myers, 8 for 97 yards, but he doesn't want to play in Vegas anymore. Yeah, man. Fun. PHUN fun. The Raiders are good. I wish they ran the ball better than they did today. But holy hot dog, their offense, man. Like Chip Kelly dialing it up. And yeah. Geno Smith and the Raiders. I'm in. I'm all in. Drake May threw the ball 46 times today. He threw for 287 yards. Completed 30 of those passes. He had a touchdown and he had a pretty bad interception. Love Drake May. Very silly quarterback. Patriots did not run the ball well at all today. Their offensive line still has some massive, massive issues. Will Campbell is a solid player, but he struggled today at times. Tough first assignment, though. So we'll see. Raiders. If you told me they were a playoff team, I would not be shocked. It's my overreaction. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 26-10, wins over the Carolina Panthers today. They looked good. Trevor Lawrence had a pretty solid game. They just had functionality on the offensive end. They looked like they had a purpose. The game kind of got broken up. Like they were up big, and then all of it, or not? Was it big? No, wasn't it? Yeah, it was like 17-3, and then the lightning delay happened. They were up, and that took like zapped the game. I'm not. I need to see a little bit more. They play the Bengals next week, and their defense is questionable. So I want to see what that looks like next week, and then I will have much more opinions on the Jags potentially. Bucks Falcons. By the way, the 1:00 slate today absolutely banged. Everyone bitching about Red Zone. By the way, there was this NFL Red Zone discourse over the last couple weeks. People talking about like how you watch it and judging people on how they watch football, which I get it. So I had the quad box on the big TV today because the Bears play tomorrow, and then I had Red Zone on the other TV. I never once saw like Red Zone just cutting away to commercials, by the way, and I had it on all day on that television. I always had 4 games up on the big TV. I had the quad box, shout out Sunday Ticket, and I had Red Zone on the small TV. I have 2 TVs in my living room. That is my setup. You're welcome for me giving you that information. Yeah, Red Zone was fine today. Anywho, just saying. The Bucks and the Falcons game, I watched every snap of this. This was on the quad box all day long. What a game. First off, the Bucks, Baker Mayfield. Dog. Capital D, capital dog. That was fun. It was a blast. Here's the thing about Tampa Bay, man. And I know I picked them to win the NFC, so anything that I say from here, people are going to think I'm a homer. This team's so good. And their offense, like to patch it together today on offense with all the offensive line changes, with no worfs, they're moving guys around. They didn't run the ball that well today. Baker is a superstar. Like he's so good. And that win was incredible. Baker made so many plays. And Emeka Egbuka was awesome. That was fantastic. Michael Penix today looked really good too for the Falcons. They should have tied the game. Kickers today, by the way, just a horrible day for kickers. Bucks missed that extra point. Penix then drives him down. The coup misses the field goal at the gun. Penix looked really good, man. The thing that I worry about, they didn't run the ball well either, but the Bucks front four is awesome. Vita Vea made a bunch of big plays. They got Hassan Reddick out here. Looking like Hassan Reddick from the Eagles, and had a sack, made some other good plays. Here's my worry for the Falcons. This felt like one you had to get. And I worry about that because the Bucks are in a weird spot where they're kind of figuring some stuff out on offense. The offensive line is pretty hot. There is pretty, stuck together with duct tape right now with Wirfs out, and they're moving some bodies around. Still a bunch of good players, but like felt like one Atlanta needed to have, man, and they didn't get it. And that's what I'd be worried about for Atlanta is they have a tendency of losing games like this, of losing games where it's like they should have won that game, shouldn't they? And yeah, that was just one that I thought maybe they should have won. Let me see something here. Incredible win for Tampa Bay, though. On the road, gutsy performance, gutsy win. Baker delivered. Speaking of bad kickers, the Browns, LOL. Here's what I would say. Here's what I'm going to say quickly about the Bengals. Do I have an overreaction? I don't. Because at the end of the day, everyone's going to go, everyone on TV's tomorrow, everyone's going to be on TV tomorrow, and they're going to tell you that, oh, the Bengals, they sucked again. They were lucky to win, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, man. The Bengals have lost these games over the last couple of years, especially in week 1, in the dumbest ways possible. So for the fact that they won the game in a stupid way, maybe that's a good thing. Because sometimes you just need to be luckier than good. More lucky than good. What's wrong with me? Am I sleep deprived? Their offense did not look great today. Their offensive line, kind of shaky. Joe Flacco threw for almost 300 yards. All that being said, they ended up winning. Did the Browns miss a chip shot field goal the length of an extra point, which would have gave them the lead late? Yes, they did. But at the end of the day, if you're the Bengals, you had more points than the other team in week 1, and usually that doesn't happen under this regime. For once, they don't have to dig themselves out from behind the 8 ball. Weird tying of references there. So in that case, you're a Bengals fan, you're ecstatic. Because it's one of those situations where it's like they lost this game every year, literally, for the last 3 or 4 years. They got it done today. Think of all the dumb way. I know a lot of it has to do with the fact their defense last year was literally an abomination. But think of the stupid ass ways they lost football games last year. Blowing it to the Ravens twice. The first time they lost to the Ravens, they didn't get stopped all game. And then Jamar Chase fumbled it, I think. And then McPherson missed a kick. The second game, they dropped what would have been the game-winning 2-point conversion after blowing it again. That Chargers game, they had 4 bajillion missed field goals in the fourth quarter with the game tied. They just lost some dumbass games. For them, this time they won it. Get out of there. Wipe your hands clean. Hop on the bus. Get out of Dodge. Be happy you got the victory. That's my thought for the Bengals. Hot take for the Browns, which is going to die sooner than later. I just want to get this out there now. They have some players on their offense that if they hit, fun offense. Dylan Sampson only ran for 29 yards today, but he caught 8 balls, rookie from Tennessee. Harold Fannin, rookie tight end, 7 grabs, 63 yards. Their offense could be a lot more fun than people thought it would be, including me. So they were punchy today. Now, granted, again, the Bengals defense could also be terrible. We're not sure. They made a couple plays. The Bengals defense made plays, though, man. That's all that matters. Get out of Dodge. I have 2 overreactions about the Giants-Commanders game. Number 1, for the Giants, Russell Wilson shouldn't start another game in the NFL, and at least not for the Giants. If they play him over Jackson Dart any other game the rest of the year, they're literally just lighting reps on fire. Because I don't think the Commanders' defense is good, and the Giants could not move the ball today. Wilson was terrible. The running game is bad. Just not good. For the Commanders, what if Jaden Daniels is just the 5th best quarterback in the world right now? What if that is the case? He makes a lot of throws, man. He makes a lot of throws. And it's so weird. Cliff Kingsbury's offense and the way Daniels plays and the guys that they have on the roster, it seems like it's the perfect marriage. Now, again, I think that they're going to get hit in the face with regression this year. Like, I don't think they're going to be the greatest third and fourth down team of all time. So I think that's going to be something to note. What were they today on third down? 4 for 11. So in comparison, not the greatest start. Didn't have a fourth down attempt today, but 4 for 11 is not terrible. It's not good either. Somewhere in the middle. Here's the thing. Like, the way that their run game develops, the way that Daniels can deliver the football. Debo actually looked really good today. Had a lot of juice. Today I accepted it. Today I was like, you know what? Maybe he's just really that good, which is fine. It's fine. Because if he is, he's fun. He's really fun. And it hit me. It made me think today, like, maybe that offense is just a perfect marriage. Cliff, Jaden, the weapons. So we'll see. We'll see how they navigate life through the early stage of the season. They play the Packers on Thursday. Going to be very intriguing. Speaking of those damn Packers, I guess I'll talk about them now. I rescind all my takes. I said they had no blue chip players. They now have one, and he's pretty good. Micah Parsons makes a difference. I don't know where to land on the Lions' performance today because I thought they played well, but they also made some mistakes. Their offensive line got absolutely caved in. And I think having Parsons, and I don't think this, I know this, having Parsons, man, it allows all those other guys who, and again, they're not blue chippers, but they're good players. I never said they had no good players. I said they had no blue chippers, okay? So anybody who wants to rub that take in my face can go suck one. But at the end of the day, here's what the Packers have. Good players, a lot of Bs, a lot of B minuses. But you know what they went out and acquired over the last week? Because Jerry Jones is old and decrepit and is literally asleep at the wheel and the same age as Joe Biden. Like, just saying, those are two both very old white men who should not have had any. Never mind, I should just stop. But that's how old Jerry Jones is, okay? And Jerry Jones handed one of the bluest of blue chippers in the entire league to the Green Bay Packers for nothing. Literally nothing. So, yeah, the Packers have Micah Parsons, and he makes everybody else better. The rule of superstars elevating others around them. Because Micah Parsons is there, all of those B-minus players that the Packers have, well, they turn into fucking stars. Because instead of just a bunch of guys playing together, you all of a sudden have Parsons just making Lucas Van Ness and Devontae Wyatt and Rashawn Gary just eat one-on-one blocks and be able to pin their ears back and say, we're going to see ball and get ball. And their defensive line absolutely buried. But, like, Green Bay was the perfect script. They got up quick, and they absolutely just peeled their shit back and went after Jared Goff. And Goff was okay, but the Lions' play calling was, we know we can't block these dudes, so we have to do these things. And that's where I'm at with the Lions. Did Johnny Morton do okay calling plays? Probably. He was all right. They had a couple mistakes that really cost them when the game was still in balance because it was 17-3. And there was a moment where it was like, you can score. They were driving in the half. Parsons gets by Sewell. It forces Goff to throw the ball quickly. Evan Williams comes up and makes a really nice read on a little stop route from Amon-Ra, and he gets the interception. If they score there, they get the ball back. Like, it's a different ball game. But instead, they throw a pick. They get into the red zone again. They have to kick a field goal. 17-6. And then Jordan Love does what Jordan Love does, which is turn the ball over. And they get horrifically bailed out because that's what the Packers do is they screw up but get horrifically bailed out welcome to football. It's fine. I'm not petty or mad. It's just what happens. And then all of a sudden, instead of it being 17-6 with the Lions on the doorstep, or a 17-13 game because of a pick six, because Jordan Love did what he does, which is throw the ball into harm's way, it's 24-6, like 3 minutes later, and the game's over. I say all that to say this. The only read I got today from the Lions, when everyone's going to talk about all their coordinator issues and this, that, and the other, and golf isn't good without Johnson or McVay, blah, 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 is that their offensive line got their dicks shoved up their face for 60 minutes. That's what happened. And sometimes when that happens in football, the team with the offensive line who had that happen to their scrotums loses the football game. Case in point, the only two Super Bowls the Chiefs lost. Congratulations. The Packers, though, pretty good. Gotta admit. Next. All right, folks. We're 43 minutes into this. I want everybody to buckle up because I have a take. And I just need everybody to calm down. Brock Purdy was awesome today. Yep. He was really good. And it's not that he was just good. Like, he made a couple throws that got picked, and they were really good plays by the Seahawks defense. And it was also like, Brock, why are you throwing the ball there type situations? And the play to win the game was also one of those LOL, just find a way to throw it. But, like, Brock Purdy battled his ass off. The tight end that caught the ball to win the game, and he also had like 3 catches on the last drive, was basically me. Jake Tongus, or whatever his name was. This glare is wild. Good God. Whatever. I'm a star. Look at me shine. What if I did this? If I shut this off, I'm very dark now, and I don't like that. Very shadowy. Listen, man. Like, Pearsall had a good game. Juwan Jennings can't feel the left side of his body. George Kittle played 11 snaps and then died. Christian McCaffrey is in bubble wrap. Also has contagious tendonitis in his legs. And Purdy's just out here wheeling and dealing. And I got to give it up. I just have to give it up, man. Because sometimes you are put in a situation that is incredibly disadvantageous. And when you can find a way to win, no matter how stupid it is, no matter the situation, no matter the score, no matter your statistics, sometimes you just got to find a way to win. And a lot of times in his life and in the NFL, Brock Purdy has been raised above the level because he has had superstars everywhere. Well, today, all those superstars either played for other teams or were injured or just, I don't know. And he found a way to win. And honestly, dude, I'm so impressed because he made some insane plays on the final drive. Their special teams was a disaster. Jake Moody is out here kicking balls into the ass of linemen. They got a field goal block. He missed 2 chip shots, and they still found a way to win, man. Just impressive. As ballsy of a win as you are ever going to see. And the Niners got it today. That was incredibly impressive. And they made winning plays, man. Purdy finds a way to make the plays to win the game, and then Sam Darnold delivers it. Niners are on the door, or Seahawks are on the doorstep, and then Nick Bosa says, "I'm going to call game." Yeah, impressive, just impressive by Brock Purdy. I don't know what I don't know what to make about the Niners. I think the Seahawks are really good. Their defense is sick. I wish that the Seahawks had any other living, warm, breathing body on their receiver core other than Jackson Smith and Jigba that was an actual player. But who knows? The Niners defense today with Salah back, like kind of ripped, and they got some players. Obviously, they have really good players, but like they actually look good today. Um, so I don't know. I do know this: the NFC West is a bloodbath. The NFC West is a war zone. All four teams are nasty. The Cardinals are going to be the most frustrating team in the league, but they're still going to be fun. And Kyler's going to do crazy stuff, and their defense has some sick players on it, and they're incredibly well coached. And the Rams are just this inevitable bowling ball of awesomeness, and Stafford makes every throw. They make every clutch decision because McVay's a wizard. Puka Nakua is a freakazoid and a mutant and is not from this earth. And their defense absolutely slaps. And Jared Verse is a baller, and Braden Fisk is a baller. Go Knowles, both of them. And their secondary rips, and their linebackers are good. And the fact that that team has a nasty defense, and the Seahawks might have the best defensive coach and maybe the best defense in the league, and they couldn't find a way to win today. And the Niners have Brock Purdy, who like constantly does the Sam Cassell dance all the time. It's literally the only mood he has is doing the Sam Cassell dance. And you have the Cardinals, who are just hilarious and are annoying, but I love them. The NFC West, bro, it is a war zone. It is chaos. It is like what the contamination zone in The Last of Us or whatever. Whenever you would leave the ruins or whatever you would leave the walls, and you would be out where all the infected were. It is just that. It is chaotic. That is the NFC West. Every game that those four teams are in, whether it's against each other or against other teams, it is appointment television. It is the best division in the league. It is beautiful, beautiful stuff to watch. Quickly on the Houston Texans. Why are they so undisciplined? D'Amico, I think you're a good coach. Bobby Sloak, they got rid of. So the offense, granted, the Rams defense rips, bro. But 3 field goals today. Did the offense ever have any rhythm? I understand their offensive line is kind of meh, and the running back is like my brother, who I don't have a brother, and my cousin. But just not great today from the Texans. Their defense is awesome though. The Rams were definitely better, and I thought the Texans would cover. They did not, and yeah, interesting. I'm gonna put a pin in every Texans game for the early part of the season because I just need to see this offense. Like, can they figure it out at some point? I don't know. Again, the Rams defense dirty, but they commit so many damn penalties, man. That kills me. Did I save the best for last? Yeah, I did. I'm like, should I talk about the Friday game? I only watched like 7 plays of the Chiefs Chargers game. So don't get your knickers in a twist, okay? Justin Herbert made a winning play, which got me hype. So NFL, don't play games on Fridays, you dorks. Last but certainly not least, the Miami Dolphins are the worst team in the league. Chris Greer should be thrown in the ocean. Mike McDaniel is going to be scapegoated. Can't wait for him to be on a cool team with cool players and be their offensive coordinator, and that offense to be one of the 5 best offenses in the National Football League. That'll be so cool. Can't wait for it. Look how cool it's going to be. It's not his fault that his quarterback is overrated. Not even overrated. Overpaid. Just a bad football player. It's not his fault that the GM doesn't know how to draft and develop or acquire like legitimate offensive linemen constantly. Their defensive backfield sucks. Their defensive line's good, but that's about it. Today was embarrassing. And yeah, dude, Tua Tagovailoa is a bad player. And I've been saying this ever since the game against the Chiefs when they got smoked and they looked like they didn't want to be there. And I understand. I understand. I understand that I'm trying to just be cautious and rational here because I'm in a good mood. Today was fun, but Jesus, Louis. And there's there's other. I'm a Bears fan. I like the Dolphins. I like the Dolphins too, obviously. Um, but like, here's the thing, man. Um, Brian said buckle. I'm assuming that meant when the Brock Purdy take. I wonder if he liked that. I'm sorry I don't see the Facebook comments in the restream. Restream sucks. I'm just gonna keep saying that. It's a terrible platform, but we have to use it, so it's unfortunate. But Facebook comments, I'm seeing you, Brian Blair, out here in the chat. I appreciate you. So last thing on the Dolphins before I get out of here, like this team sucks so bad, and Tua's so bad, and I tried to tell people when the Chiefs they lose that game against the Chiefs, and I know they were injured, like 2022, would that have been 23, 23? 2023, whatever that was. 2023 was their year. It was their year. 2023 was their shot. It was their chance to win the title. And they absolutely gagged it. And I understand it's a combination of things, but they blow chunks down the stretch in the regular season. They lose. They couldn't beat good teams. They go play it. They lose that dumbass game to Tennessee on Monday night. And I'm like talking about games that years ago. They lose that dumbass game to the Titans. They go to Baltimore and get absolutely drilled. They lose like 56-14. Bradley Chubb blows his knee out. Jalen Phillips tears his Achilles on Black Friday on that stupid field at MetLife Stadium. And ever since then, this team has basically died a slow death. And they blew that game against the Bills on Sunday night, which would have won the division. And even if they would have turned around the next week and lost the Bills, at least they won a game that mattered in my life. But we're still here 2 years later, and the Dolphins have not won a game that has mattered in my life at all, whatsoever. And I said it when they got their asses absolutely ripped apart in the game against Kansas City when it was a billion degrees below zero, and they looked like they didn't want to be there all game long. And Tua sucked in front of the world, or at least not the world, but everybody who had a Peacock subscription at least. And I got an argument with this dumbass on Slack who's a part of the 4Frequency Sake chat. I don't remember his name or whatever it was. And he kept trying to tell me, the Dolphins are fine. Tua's fine. He sucks. Tua Tagovailoa sucks. And he's a bad football player. And this team can't be good teams. And Mike McDaniel, maybe it's a culture thing. Maybe it's his fault. But Chris Greer sucks at his job. And McDaniel's going to get scapegoated. And he's going to get fired, and he's going to go get picked up by another team, and their offense is going to be awesome. So that'll be cool. Can't wait to watch that. But so, yeah, man, like it's crazy because they made all the smart decisions up until it was time for them to actually cash in on those decisions, and then they made every stupid decision. They paid Tua when they absolutely did not have to. They paid a guy who is not a good football player money. And don't give me this, when they play and they're all healthy, they're so good. Well, they all played today, and did you see what happened? A nightmare, a disaster. They are the worst team in the league. Like, I understand they play in the same league as the Browns and the Saints, who also suck, but what they had today was embarrassing. And I understand the Colts had a good game, and it was the Jim Irsay Memorial game and all that. And rest in peace, Jim. Lived an amazing life. I'm glad the Colts had their moment, but Jesus effing Louises, the Dolphins are terrible. They're a bad football team, and their quarterback, especially, is a bad football player. Point blank, period. End of story. Sucks to suck. The Dolphins are dead to me. I washed my hands. They weren't even on the screen on the 4-box. Every highlight that popped up in front of me that had to do with the Dolphins, I just scoffed at. Emotionally, I am done with them. I have no care in the world for that stupid ass organization. And I know I'm ranting about it, but I'm done with it. I can't anymore. So I like them losing today had no bearing on my happiness whatsoever. And I know I'm ranting about it right now, but that's just because of how dumb they are. And I'm glad that I don't allow that poverty organization to control my happiness because they do not deserve it. And I feel bad for my partner Nick Brinks, but I also don't because he's smart. I feel good for him because he's smart and he covered the Dolphins flag because that team sucks. They're an embarrassment and they got embarrassed today and looked they embarrassed themselves. And I feel bad for Mike McDaniel because he deserves better, because he's he's a better coach than what he is going to have happen to him here in the next few weeks. But he is led astray by a horrible front office, by a horrible organization, and he has to coach horrible football players. That ended on a sour note. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow night you'll get to see me lose my shit again if the Bears get killed. I really hope not. I've had a pretty good start to my football life this year. If it turns out, though, that everything else but the NFL, maybe that's what I have to trade in. If I just have to trade in my NFL Sundays for my teams being terrible for everything else to be good, maybe that's what it is. I hope not. I hope not. Because, like, if the Bears were good tomorrow, that'd be cool. I'd have fun. Like, let's say the Bears lost, like, even if they lost, let's say they lost like 35-34. Could you imagine? And they, like, go for 2 at the end of the game and they just miss it. And, like, Caleb throws for, like, 380 or something. I'll come up here wetting myself. I'll be so hyped. Like, I'll be mad in a sense, but, like, brother, you could not wipe the grin. If they are offensively awesome, like, I think they're going to win tomorrow. Just full clarity. But if you told me that because KOC is a genius and McCarthy could be good and they have Justin Jefferson, maybe Adam Thielen turns the clock back. Like, the Bears could be playing a mash unit tomorrow night on defense. Like, TJ Edwards ain't playing. People who cover the Chicago Bears, oh my God, are too worried about putting out hit pieces or too worried. Carmen, whatever your last name is, you dumbass who works for CHGO. I know nobody watches my stuff and everyone watches theirs, but I have to get this take off. Like, people who cover the Bears are too busy giving out horrendous takes about Caleb Williams or getting their game off thinking Tyson Bagent would win 10 games instead of Caleb. And, like, they haven't covered the fact that, like, half the Bears defense, like, hasn't practiced all week, or, like, the fact that Jalen Johnson, like, didn't practice at all during the preseason. Just awful, just horrendous stuff. But as if Caleb and the offense looks good tomorrow and they score points, honestly, that's all I care about right now with the Bears. So hopefully that happens at least tomorrow. And that's where I'm at with the Bears. If they lose 28-27 or something like that, and it's because the defense couldn't stop anybody all night long, and the offense looks really good, and they maybe just couldn't make one play at the end of the game or something, and that's how they lost, I won't be upset. Probably. And before destruction happens and my mental health is ruined tomorrow night. But honestly, had a pretty good start to the football season, so let's hope it doesn't crash and burn. Can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be fun. Brian Blair, great show tonight. Thank you. I have to just wing it when I come up here and talk by myself. Yell at this bright light for an hour. Nick Brinks will be live tomorrow night. We will have Guess the Lines week 2. Didn't he boat race me last week? Let me check the $100 picks this week. Got absolutely sent to oblivion. I went 0 for 4 today. And I had 2 horrendous beats yesterday in college. Otherwise, yeah, just bad day today for bets, but whatever. I'm fine. I had a blast watching football today, though. That was great. I had a blast watching football all weekend. Shout out to everybody who picked Duke money line. No, Nick and I tied last week in $1 million or in guess the lines. So Titans colliding. So we'll have guess the lines week 2 tomorrow night. We will react to the Bears. Maybe I can have Jordan Rangel come on. That'd be fun. Jordan Rangel's a Vikings fan. That'd be a cool little moment. Regardless, I am going to end it here. That's where I'm at. Like the video if you're watching. If you are, I appreciate you. Tell all your friends. Tell one friend that football's back, and we are back because of it. Whatever platform you're watching on, leave a like. It takes 6 seconds. Just hit the button. We really appreciate it. If you really want to find cool content like fantasy football write-ups or gambling predictions, stuff about NASCAR, we put NASCAR picks out there. Big previews for games. We go in depth. We give you picks, all that stuff. Go to our Substack, forfrequencysake.substack.com. Did I get it right this time? I did. forfrequencysake.substack.com. And follow us. We put out some fantastic content. It's not just me, it's everybody. It's the guys from the Golden Ticket Show. It's the guys from the Football Lounge. They put out great podcasts. The Card Subject to Change guys, they do great stuff. My guys Nick and CZ. If you're a wrestling nerd, if you're a wrestling fan and you want a really cool video concept, me, CZ, and Nick Bold, the guys from Card Subject to Change, we did a wrestling version of the Rewatchables, which is a Ringer podcast. We did it on Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns night 1 or night 2 from WrestleMania 39. Fantastic episode. They let me drive the car, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. And we're going to have another one in a month. They will be announcing it soon. So can't wait for that. Other than that, just, follow. We had a bunch of great content. Thank you to everybody who hung out with us tonight. We will be back again tomorrow. Same time, same time-ish, probably. Hopefully it's same time. Maybe like 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier. Same place, same rambunctious shenanigans. Educated Ignorance Podcast. Thank you all for hanging out with us. This has been the Educated Ignorance Podcast. What a week 1, though, honestly. What a week 1. Today absolutely delivered. And the Sunday night game was generational. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, remember, if you ain't got your game, you best pass the sticks. We will see you guys tomorrow night for a mental health check-in. Plus, guess the lines week 2 with Nick Brinks. He will be back tomorrow. C'est la vie, folks. We'll see y'all tomorrow night, guys. Peace.